Have you ever wondered what really separates a good manager from a truly great leader? Well, it's not a secret. It actually comes down to a specific set of traits. Today, we're going to break down the 10 essential qualities you need to master to really level up your career. Let's get right into it. So here's how we'll tackle this. First, we'll talk about the modern leadership challenge itself. Then we'll dive into the skills you need internally, your inner compass, and the skills that help you lift up your team. We'll also look at a tool to help you get there, and we'll wrap up with one simple step you can take today. You know, so many of us hit a wall in our careers. A point where being great at your job, just being a fantastic doer, isn't enough anymore to get to that next level. The only way forward? You've got to step into real leadership. And that really brings us to this big question. A manager, well, they direct tasks, right? But a leader inspires action. They build trust. They create more leaders. And that fundamental shift is exactly what we're focusing on today. Okay, so let's get into our first group of traits. Think of these as the foundational skills that make up your inner compass. They're what guide every single decision you make and every action you take. First up, self-management. I mean, it makes sense, right? You can't be a great coach if you can't even dribble the ball yourself. Before you can lead anyone else, you have got to lead yourself. That means getting a handle on your priorities, your emotions, and having some real self-awareness. Next, we have integrity. And let me be clear, this one is completely non-negotiable. It's way more than just being honest. It's about walking the talk and doing the right thing, especially when you think nobody's looking. Trust is really the currency of leadership, and integrity is how you earn it. Simple as that. Trait number 3 is resilience. Look, leadership is never going to be a smooth ride. You are going to face setbacks, guaranteed. Resilience is that incredible ability to bounce back from adversity, to learn from what went wrong, and to actually grow stronger because of it.
All right, next up, accountability. This one is huge. True leaders take 100% responsibility for their team's results, both the wins and, yes, the losses. You're like the captain of a ship. You own your mistakes, and you never, ever blame the crew, no matter how stormy the seas get.
And to round out this section, we have strategic thinking. This is all about pulling yourself out of the day-to-day weeds and seeing the bigger picture. A leader is always thinking several moves ahead. They stay curious, and they adapt their vision as things change. You're not just playing checkers here, you're playing chess. Okay, so once your own inner compass is pointing true north, it's time to focus outward. This next set of skills is all about empowering your team and truly multiplying their impact. And it all kicks off with communication. If you've ever played that kid's game telephone, you know exactly how fast a message can get twisted. Great leaders are absolute masters of clarity. They know when to talk, for sure, but maybe more importantly, they know when to shut up and listen. That's how you get everyone aligned and moving in the same direction. Next up is promoting teamwork. A real team isn't just a handful of people who happen to work together. It's an unstoppable force. But you need 3 key ingredients. A shared vision, so everyone knows where they're going, psychological safety, so people feel safe to speak up, and crystal clear roles. As the leader, it's your job to build that environment. Of course, great teamwork needs a destination. And that's why setting specific goals is so incredibly important. Charismatic leaders energize their people by pointing to a clear, ambitious mountain peak that they can all work towards climbing together. That kind of clarity provides direction, motivation, and a powerful shared sense of purpose. But let's be real, the path to those goals is rarely a straight line. That brings us to managing complexity. A leader's job is often to be the head problem solver, to untangle all those messy knots with patience and a calm, big picture view. You're the one who has to spot the hidden trends and adjust the strategy on the fly. And finally, absolutely none of this works without building relationships. The most compelling leaders genuinely care about their people. They take the time to understand their team's unique strengths and career goals. They act as a connector, building a powerful network, not just for their own benefit, but for the entire organization. Now, mastering all these traits is definitely a journey, right? And like any journey, it's a whole lot easier when you have the right tools in your toolkit. But listen, having the skills isn't quite enough. You also have to be able to communicate them effectively. If you're shooting for a leadership role, your resume is the very first thing that has to prove you're ready. And you know, that brings me to today's sponsor.
If you have ever spent hours, and I mean hours, fighting with a resume template in Microsoft Word, you know the pain. That's the old way. The new way is MobileCV.ai. It can take pretty much any document you have and turn it into a perfectly formatted, totally job-ready CV in about a minute.
Now, here's a wild statistic for you. 75% of resumes get rejected by those automated screening bots before a human being ever even lays eyes on them. It's crazy. MobileCV.ai is specifically built with ATS-optimized formatting to sail right past those filters. And honestly, the best part? No monthly subscriptions. You just pay for what you use, and they even give you 3 free credits to start.
All right, let's pull all of this together and talk about how you can start making it happen for real. Because let's face it, knowledge without action is just, well, trivia. Here is your dead simple 3-step action plan. Please don't try to master all 10 of these traits at once. You'll burn out. Just pick one, just one that really speaks to you. Then, for 2 weeks, practice it intentionally every single day. Once it starts to feel like a habit, then you can move on to the next one. That is how you build real, lasting change.
And as you start your practice, I want you to remember this key idea. The ultimate test of leadership really is accountability. Real leaders aren't afraid to own their mistakes. The imposters? They're the ones pointing fingers and taking all the credit. Your willingness to take responsibility is what will truly, truly set you apart.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Which one of these 10 traits are you going to master first? Your leadership journey begins with that one single choice. Thanks for watching.